Welcome back, everyone. We're going to go here into Game 2 of this best-of-3 series between Yomsonski and Sdwmaster. Game 2 going in here. We're going to start it up right now on MLG Tal'Darim Altar. Man, I have a hard time pronouncing that name. Tal'Darim Altar. Of course, Yomsonski winning Game 1 on MLG Xel'Naga Caverns in a very commanding fashion, just able to deny the bases of his opponent and just have a tremendously strong stalker, largely stalker, blink stalker army with the upgrade advantage. So he does win Game 1. Sdwmaster goes ahead and he gets to pick the map for this particular game, and so this is what he's chosen. And up here in the top left, we do have Sdwmaster spawning as the red Zerg, and he will face off here against Yomsonski in purple. And note that they are in the close ground positions as opposed to cross positions. Now this map is interesting. It is a 4-player map. It is a pretty big map, which means that it can take quite a long time to scout your opponent to find out where he's at. But it looks like Yomsonski is going to head and choose luckily and find his opponent right off the get-go. Sdwmaster going to be in the dark just a little bit longer than his opponent. This is very, very good for Yomsonski. He's going to be able to see exactly when his opponent's pool goes down. He's going to see if he takes gas first or if he tries to do a hatch first, and he'll be able to try to block it even if he wants to. So very, very, very fortunate for Yomsonski. It does look like Sdwmaster is going to try a hatch first opener, and this could actually backfire pretty bad for him right now, as Yomsonski is going for the Forge Expand, which means he essentially can try to cannon rush this natural. And what by that I mean he can build a pylon here and start building cannons at this natural, preferably between the main and the natural, and keep this expansion from actually going up safely. And it'll be interesting to see if that is indeed what he decides to do. The Forge has just finished. This probe going to go around and be annoying for just a bit. He has enough money to throw down at least 2 pylons. Is he going to do it? No, he looks like he's just going to let that expansion go up. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. I was going to say, if he were to build, a pylon here and start building cannons here, not only can he force the cancel on that hatchery, but also kind of seal his opponent in and give him tons of breathing room to get his own expansion up. Really kind of surprised he did not opt to do that. As it is now, the pool has finished for Sdwmaster. Gateway going down for Yomsonski. And double gas is even doing this right in front of his opponent, who has his drone hiding back here. I don't know if he meant to do that, but his drone is just kind of chilling back there and will allow him to do some scouting. Does have this Overlord in here as well, so he's going to see this double quick gas. And that is actually a pretty dang early gas for this sort of opener. Typically you hold off on minerals for mostly minerals for a long time, get a couple cannons up, and a couple zealots and such just to deal with whatever lings might poke around. And you do get the gas just so that you can get your sentries out, but this seems pretty early to me. But I might be completely off on that. Now we do see Sdwmaster has taken gas. Interestingly enough, he's going to try to get speed up as quickly as possible, is my assumption, and then I would expect him to take guys off gas to help him drone up even faster. Getting in here, doing a lot of scouting still. Sdwmaster does have great intel at the moment. As you can see, this is a complete wall off here for Yomsonski. That tells me he's probably going to go blink stalkers later, or he could try to open this up as well. But I knowing Yomsonski, I expect him to go blink stalkers. No speed started for Sdwmaster, still getting gas, getting a second gas even. Kind of surprising to me. Will he try for some sort of heavy roach push? We do see 2 evolution chambers going down quite early, so it looks like he wants to get started on his upgrades immediately and not fall into the problem he had last time of being behind in upgrades to his opponent. I'm really kind of curious about this though, because he's not going to have the economy advantage that he would like. He hasn't opted to take a third. He does have one Ling poking away at those rocks, but that's going to take quite a while for those rocks to go down and for him to get a third up. Yomsonski sends one zealot in here just to check. Here are a few more Lings to help assist in the rock quarry efforts. But Yomsonski is going to see all of this and know exactly when that expansion goes down. Note he is throwing down 4 more gates. He's going to go ahead and go up to 5 gates here, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some very aggressive 5 to 6, 7 gate all in off these 2 bases. Ling speed a little delayed for Sdwmaster. Interestingly enough, not making use of these Evo chambers despite having all the gas and gotten those quite early. Getting his lair. There's the upgrades. Now this is really puzzling to me. Getting the +1 range and +1 melee attack despite not having any range units or a Roach Warren down. Really curious on what he plans on doing with that. Maybe going with a Ling Hydra sort of style. Is he waiting just for the lair to finish to get Hydras? Anyway, we do have a lot of Lings with speed moving across the map. Now this is actually a lot of Lings at this point in the game. Typically you see Zerg players make very few Lings and make mostly workers. And as a consequence you can see that Zerg is behind in workers where he would normally want to be ahead. He's going to go ahead and check the third real quick and then try to dart here into the main. Yomsonski has opened that up so that he can get zealots in and out, and is feeling quite safe. Now we do have Robo down. Oh, he's going to go for Warp Prism off 5 gate. Harassment sort of play. I really like this style. Very zealot heavy right now. He is getting +1 armor. Does he have +1 attack? +1 attack is done. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him go as soon as this Warp Prism is done. We do have a Spire going down right now for Sdwmaster. Does have the gas to support it, but maybe not quite the rest of the economy that he needs at this point in time. I'm going to see these Zealots load up into the Warp Prism, go in and do a bit of poking around harass. Meanwhile, ton of Lings running across the map, checking all the watchtowers, darting around here and there. He needs to be careful because this Warp Prism is going to come back here and he's not going to have a lot to defend it. And he's actually in kind of a bad position right now because Yomsonski is going to move out and see all these Lings, get to take out a ton of them for free. These Zealots are actually quite scary at this point in time because these Lings are only +1 attack. They do not have the +1 armor that they need to survive those Zealot attacks for one more hit. This Queen way out in the middle of nowhere just going to get picked off. In the meantime, we do have this Warp Prism moving in. Zealots getting dropped, and then he's going to be able to phase this and warp right into his opponent's main, splitting up his opponent's army. And again, Lings versus Zealots, not going to be a very good situation here. Here we have the ton of Zealots moving into the natural of Sdwmaster, taking out the static defenses here. And this is going to move in, and it's going to be a massacre on all these workers. In the meantime, still more Zealots using the little tight spaces here, much to their advantage. Oh, these Lings just kind of trapped in here, not doing a lot. And, oh, this looks really, really bad for Sdwmaster. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen a GG here because this is pretty much irrecoverable right now for him. Losing that natural, losing all those workers, and then actually just letting his main go down. A lot of these Lings not even fighting. He has a ton of mutas, and I guess he's hoping that the mutas can save the day here. There are only so many Stalkers here, and Stalkers are not that great against mutas. He's going to clean this up, but at what cost? Going to even lose the upgrade on that Evo chamber. Going to clean up all these Zealots without trouble with the mutas. But having lost so many workers, 48 workers lost to 0 of Yomsonski. These mutas are going to try to go in and do some harassment. But there are only stalkers being made back home, and rightly so. By Yomsonski, he's going to go ahead and even cannon up and just be extra safe. Probably should have started building this cannon just a titch earlier. But Muta's going to go in, see nothing here at the third, and then where will they go from there? I expect they'll go into the main. And here they go, right into the main. I think Blink is just about done as well. Gonna go ahead and pick off these cannons. Cancels one. Is he gonna cancel another? It doesn't even matter. These stalkers are gonna get in here and defend this with ease. And Sdwmaster forced to rebuild his natural. But if we look at the worker count, it's 53 to 28 favoring Protoss. I really don't think that there's anything Sdwmaster can do to get back into this game. +3 weapon attack getting started here for Yomsonski. He does now have the upgrade advantage as well. And Yomsonski can go ahead and start working on these rocks at the third. Muta is going to poke around and try to get here into the natural. There are several cannons back here though, and more stalkers being warped in. They're not going to be able to do any real damage. They're going to have to pull right back. In the meantime, still only Muta's really being made, and workers for Sdwmaster. All this mining going on at his third. He should probably send some of those back into his natural so that his economy isn't taking such a hit. But as I said, having lost that many workers is going to be very hard to recover from. And Yomsonski getting in here, being very active about the defense with these stalkers, making sure these mutas don't get in and get any free kills. Yeah, they are going to get this pylon, which will supply block Yomsonski for a moment, and then try to get in here into the main. There are some cannons back here. Mutas are not going to be able to do much. The third is going down now for Yomsonski as well. Muta's just looking for any hole, any opportunity that they have. They're going to get in here and hopefully force a cancel on the third, but actually they're just going to fly right past. Sdwmaster not paying attention, could have taken that third out and stopped it from getting protected, but now the stalkers are here to protect. Big misstep there for Sdwmaster. Gonna get a couple cannons and then get here into the main, and this is a really annoying situation right now for Yomsonski. But personally, I feel like you just leave a few stalkers back home to chase these mutas off and then just go for the basically the base race. Looks like he's just going to go ahead and just sack it all. Don't think that's the correct response, but at some point Sdwmaster is either going to have to go back home or basically lose this match. Here come the stalkers. They are +3 attack. They're going to go in here and just ravage everything. Muta's trying to stop this third. Oh, but there are just a couple too many cannons here for them to deal with. Ling's getting in. They're not going to really do that much damage. And this is pretty much GG at this point. There's the GG from Sdwmaster. A very well played series by Yomsonski. Takes it 2-0. Very commanding fashion. That being said, I'd like to give a big shout out before we sign off to our sponsors, especially to QuickTech Computers. You can check them out at quicktech.net. Big shout out and thank you to them for supplying the computers on which we played these matches for the live event. Also Greenfield's Pancake House, Da Vinci's Pizza, and Champions Fun Center. Thank you guys for supporting esports in the Midwest and making these events possible. We couldn't do it without you guys. And a big congratulations to Yomsonski. He will move on into round 4 of the winner's bracket. Sdwmaster goes down into the elimination bracket where he can still fight his way back up. And so we will be back here soon with more matches from this tournament. And thanks for watching. Peace.